Hey, today I want to talk to you about fixed mindset and growth mindset. So people with fixed mindset tend to be having these characteristics. They always miss the old days. They have FOMO, fear of missing out. They think the rich are evil, and they complain constantly. And they don't really like to learn. And they are afraid of investing, and they fear change. I think that was me like 20 years ago when I was in my mid 20s. I was a struggling musician trying to make ends meet. I was living from gigs to gigs, from lessons to lessons. I was doing financially okay, not outstanding, but not really. I don't see much. I didn't see much hope in my career, and also in my finance as well. And so I had these characteristics back in time. And first of all, it's fear of missing out. Since I was living in the central city called Taichung in Taiwan, sometimes I fear that the musicians who are, making, developing their career in Taipei, which is the capital of Taiwan, and I was feeling like maybe they have more opportunities to advance themselves in their career. Maybe they have better chances to do gigs or to play with bigger players and to make a better name for themselves. So I have this fear of missing out. And back then, I also think those who got rich, not out of pure, capabilities, but maybe they got rich, or maybe they were born rich, or maybe they did something that is not, good, or very honest. So I used to think those who got rich just got rich. They were lucky only, right? And I tend to complain. My wife told me back in the day I complained a lot about, particularly about, like how the society is working and how the world is going, and maybe complain about other musicians or musical schools and so on. There's always not a lack of resources or things that you can complain about. So that was me. And I was afraid of investing because back then I thought investing is like what's like gambling, because you didn't know if you're gonna win or you're gonna lose money, and there's a lot of uncertainty involved. So I didn't want to invest. I just thought that was really risky. And at the same time, I didn't have that much money to invest. I was trying to make my ends meet, and I spent a great deal amount of my money that I earned from doing music to play to buy instruments or to buy equipment and swapping, constantly buying and swapping instruments. So that was me. I had limitation imposed on myself. I used to have this kind of fixed mindset. That was me. And as I grew older and I have more experience, life experience, particularly when I entered the corporate world, I worked with many people, and I had a few mentors who told me. And as I continue to read books and to learn and change the way I behave and change my vision toward the world, now I've totally changed. So I would like to share with you about the growth mindset, which I'm still developing, but I think I'm doing much better, and I hope this is helpful to you as well. So the people who with growth mindset, they live in the present, they learn from mistakes, they help others to succeed, they don't usually complain much, and they are constantly learning, and they take actions. So this really resonates with me. First is always live in the present. The people who tend to complain, they always complain about what could happen in the future or what has happened in the past. But no matter where you are, no matter what you do, the present moment is the only time we have, right? When you are ruminating the past mistakes or past miseries, you are ruminating in the now. And when you are worrying about the future, you do so in the now. So the present is the the only moments we got. So why not just live in the present and feel its experience the present? And when I am trying to imagine the future, I am trying to imagine a brighter, a more optimistic scenario, so that would boost my mood and give me the motivation and power to move on and learn from mistakes, particularly in the corporate world. You are making the job I do, I'm making a lot of decisions every day, and not every decision is going to be right. Some of them is going to be mistaken. Some of them are inaccurate, but that is totally fine. So I learned to, instead of like ruminating in the past mistakes, just learn from them and don't take it personally and just move on. And don't complain. This is particularly important. A complaint doesn't make things better most of the time. So we need to distinguish what's under our control, what isn't. So ultimately, the self, we are only responsible for ourselves, and ourself is the only thing that we could control as well. So stop complaining and just, look on the bright side and continue to push forward, and that is it. And take actions. I think this is the most important thing. In my position, the work I do, I work with many different teams to formulate the strategy. And when we're talking about strategy, some of the times, I would say most of the times, we're thinking about what's our mission, or what's our vision, and we're thinking about how do we approach things systematically. But many times we're just making plans, and sometimes we forgot that the most important thing is to take actions, because without actions, without movements, things will not happen, right? We need to have this momentum to keep things going. So oftentimes we are over analyzing everything, and we are over analyzing risks, or what we should make our priorities and so on. Don't get me wrong, this is equally important, but I think sometimes you just gotta take actions and learn along the way. I think that's the essence of taking action, making movements, be dynamic and be in the momentum, and then you could have the chance, enlarge your chance of being successful. All right, that's what I would share today. Please leave a comment, tell me what you think. I'll be happy to learn from you as well. And please subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.